Well, hi guys. Thanks for talking to us. Appreciate it. Really enjoying the season so far. So, obviously, your two characters are going to be parents, but you're looking after Petra. So you all have more responsibilities this season. So, can you, the three of you, sort of talk about that and how that's affecting your own characters this season, for all three of you?
Absolutely. I think it's really cool to see these characters in leadership positions and with this level of responsibility. I think specifically for Veronica, she's never been so invested in her own life, let alone the life of a little human and somebody that she loves. So it's been really fun to play that and to see what she looks like as a protective mother, as somebody who cares so deeply about something, you know?
Yeah. It's similar for Lucas too. Obviously, he hasn't got the greatest role models and parents, and neither does Veronica. So they're both kind of finding this thing out together, and seeing where they are in harmony and where they potentially come into conflict. That's really interesting. They're both they're both experiencing joy. It seems like for the first time as well, having this responsibility. It's like equal parts hope and equal parts fear, because obviously the situation they're in isn't ideal to raise a baby. Although Lucas rightly says that people have done that in the past. So.
Right, but why do it if you don't have to?
And there it is. So it's a really exciting opportunity to see, how these two characters will problem solve and work out, the things that their past have, created conflicts within them. So that's a really interesting part of their journey.
All right.
I've noticed Scott is like a big kid, and he went through a lot when he was a child as well, with all the stuff with his brother. So when he sees characters like Petra, there is a kinship there. There is a real sense of, hey, I want this kid to be okay in a way that I wasn't able to make myself or my brother okay when I was younger. So he does take a lot of responsibility on in that regard, especially because Petra doesn't have anyone as a support system down here. She's been by herself for a while. So it was a real significant part of Scott's character going into this season. And as you've seen the first 3 episodes, you know what happens, and that really invigorates Scott. He takes a lot of responsibility and wears that on his shoulders quite a bit, and he needs to make amends. He needs to right that wrong.
Can you three talk about what role trust plays this season between the group and how important that is?
Yeah.
We have to start we have to move. The dinosaurs have taken over the clearing. So initially, the trust that we have to allow is trusting this entirely new group of people. And I think beyond that, there's the individual relationships where I think specifically for Veronica, like you have to trust that Lucas is not just going to leave. You have to trust that you're not going to die when you give birth. You have to trust that the baby is not going to turn out like you or him, but the baby is its own person. And that you have to trust that you're a good enough person to raise a good person. So there's all these things of like trusting yourself, trusting somebody that you've known, and then trusting an entirely new group of people.
Yeah. And obviously over the course of the last 2 seasons, it's very hard to trust anybody in this situation because everybody's holding something. Everybody's got a secret. And it's Veronica and Lucas actually appear to be some of the more honest characters. I mean, they've been quite upfront about their past. I mean, Lucas has never really held back how he feels about somebody, so he's not harboring any massive secrets. He harbors a lot of shame, and I think that's different from secrets. So there's he's learning to trust other people because he obviously those last two seasons a lot of people have lied to him. Scott holds a lot of secrets from him. Lucas is wants to trust Scott, but it's like, there's a lot of disconnect between a lot of these people in your tribe per se. So this season it's a lot about just trusting that if someone's not going to tell you something, there's a good reason that they're not telling you something. But there's such a chain of trust that it's like someone has to trust this person who has to trust this person, that person's telling the truth. And it's like, if you think the time jumping is confusing, the like chain of trust is also very, very confusing. So you're right in saying trust plays a massive part in this last season. But I think, yeah, individually, Veronica and Lucas, this is like, it's probably the most open and trusting relationship on the show, at least at this point. Yeah.
Jamie, that's a really great question, and you guys answered it really well. I'm not sure much more I can add to that. I found in season 2, especially, Scott was intentionally being distrustful, and he was kind of keeping his cards close to his chest. And I find like a lot of characters did that, and we saw how that played out in this season. Trust has been I haven't really thought about it all that much, but since you mentioned it, trust has really been something that has been a significant glue for our development and our working together and synergizing. It's all really come together this season. That we all know who each other are, and we're able to be ourselves a bit more. And trust is really something that we need to survive.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Have a good day, guys. Can't wait to see
Thanks so
the last
much.
3.
Thanks.
Thank you.
All right.